I have had rFactor 2 for about 5.5 years now, and until about a week ago, I hadn't taken part in an online race with an rFactor 2 before. And that was until I started looking into LFM. And for those who don't really know what LFM is, well, firstly, LFM stands for Low Fuel Motorsport, it's their name. And if you sign up to their website, they've basically got a system which is similar to the rating system on iRacing, where you have a safety rating and a performance rating, and they've implemented that in a way so that it works with ACC and now rFactor 2. So LFM, they schedule races throughout the day on both ACC and rFactor 2 now, and depending on how clean you are, you will gain or lose safety rating, and depending on how well you finish, you will gain or lose performance points. And another similarity that LFM has with iRacing is that you have kind of like a safety class. For example, in iRacing you go from rookie to D class to C class B and then A. In LFM you start off in the rookies, then you graduate to the iron class, and then you go to bronze, etc., and you grow from there. And then some events are locked to higher ratings, so you'll need to gain more experience and become a safer driver before you can take part in those events. And LFM in recent times has grown a lot in popularity because of the ACC side of it. But back to my topic of the video, and that is the rFactor 2 side of LFM, which is quite new. They're still in the beta phase, so they are improving it and still developing it from where it is now. But even right now, it's very functional and you can get plenty of good racing in it. Right now, LFM is running 4 series in rFactor 2, and that would be an Alpine Cup series, which they're running the Alpine A110, which you might be familiar with in GT4 form from ACC. You can throw it around quite a bit. I'd compare it somewhat to the MX-5 in iRacing, but it's probably a little faster than that. And it's quite a beginner-friendly car too, unless you're driving on the rain, in which you'll have to have a feather foot because you'll need that to get around a lap alive. But in the dry you can hammer it and it's quite easy to drive. Another series that they're running is a Sports Car Championship, which they're running LMP2 and GTE. Those are 45-minute races, which you'll need a slightly higher license to compete in. They're running a Nordschleife Endurance Series, which is 1-hour races with GT3s, touring cars, and a GT4. And they're also running a British touring car class, which is shorter tracks with the British touring cars, and those are plenty of fun as well. And I was just looking at the rFactor 2 news on LFM today, and it looks like they're wanting to implement an open wheeler series as well. And that's another reason why I'm really enjoying this. It's not just one class of car, we're not just racing GT3s on ACC, we're racing a bunch of different categories. And one thing to note is that you will need DLC for some categories, like the Nordschleife Endurance Series. I think that's the most expensive one, which you will need to buy the Nordschleife track DLC and all the GT3 cars. But the Alpine Cup Series, that's all free content, and with that alone, there's so much fun to be had. And to be honest, that's the only series that I've been running this whole last week. I've been having so much fun with it. I've been wanting to drive the touring cars as well, which I'll probably get into next. And they also run in a season kind of system as well, where they have 12 weeks per season, and each week they'll update or they'll change the track in each racing series. So there's always something to look forward to coming up in LFM, and in this case rFactor 2. And I must say, I am really impressed with the way LFM is using rFactor 2. I've been having some really awesome races, and this footage that's playing in the background is one of the closer races that I had within this last week. I had so much fun. rFactor 2 itself can be a little difficult to get running properly at times, but a quick search online will help fix your problems, so it's not a huge deal. And something I'm really liking about their safety rating system within LFM is that you can get away with a little bit of door bumping here and there and you won't get punished for it. Whereas on iRacing, in the worst circumstances, you can actually end up getting disqualified for a tiny little bump. It's kind of ridiculous, as I've learned in a recent championship that I've done. So as long as you're not malicious and not actually crashing out, you won't get punished for little door bumps. And there are reporting systems in case you do come across people who are a bit malicious or verbally abusive online. You can report that after your race and get that sorted out. I seriously do recommend, if you haven't got rFactor 2 already, then pick it up and get involved with LFM. You'll have to go to their website, which I'll have in the description, sign up, and it shouldn't take you too long to get involved with your first rookie race in rFactor 2, but if you want to do ACC, then feel free to do that as well. And if you're watching this from New Zealand or Australia, then please give this a go. I would really like to see the race population grow a little bit more on our side of the world. I think I've covered most of my thoughts about rFactor 2 and LFM at the moment, but I will probably bring things up in future videos if I think about it. And I was also thinking that if the rFactor 2 side of LFM does keep growing, I may even consider doing some track guides or even some setup guides for the series that are running on rFactor 2 each week. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that, but we'll see how it goes. So please give it a go. The more people that participate in rFactor 2 race sessions will only encourage LFM to grow it more and more, and I would love to see that happen. rFactor 2 really does deserve more attention. It doesn't quite get the attention that it deserves, but I really do think that this is a point where we will see rFactor 2 regain some popularity. Just before I do end the video off, I would like to quickly say, if you are looking for a new upgrade in your sim racing gear, whether that might be a direct drive wheelbase or some new pedals, then I would highly recommend Camus, which is what I've been driving with for quite a wee while now, and it's all I ever really want in a sim racing setup. I'm really enjoying it. I'm always confident when driving with it. If you want to pick up a 5% discount, then be sure to use the code DOVE in the checkout, and you'll get that discount when purchasing any Camus sim racing gear. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.